Welcome to the Depth Dive. Today we're looking at something you might see on your grandma's table, maybe? Something often overlooked, but actually pretty essential for, serious tea drinkers, the tea cozy.
That's right. It seems simple, doesn't it? Just a little hat for your teapot.
Exactly. But it's got this dual thing going on. It's super practical, keeps the tea warm, but it's also got this charm.
It really does. And our mission today, if you will, is to kind of unpack that. By the end of this deep dive, you'll really get why this humble item matters. We'll dig into its history, the surprising variety of styles out there.
Oh, there's variety. I wasn't even sure.
Oh, yeah. Loads. And how the materials make a difference and, how to pick one, how to look after it. We want you to appreciate this quiet guardian of warmth.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So let's start at the beginning then. Where did these actually come from? I always picture like a cozy English cottage scene, but is that right? It feels like they've just sort of always existed.
Well, that picture isn't wrong, exactly. The tea cozy really took off in Britain. We're talking the Victorian era.
Ah, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, and it's tied directly to the rise of afternoon tea. This became a big social ritual, right?
Yeah.
Often lasting for hours.
Right, not just a quick cuppa.
Exactly. And you can imagine, over a couple of hours, your lovely pot of tea, well, it gets cold. Nobody wants lukewarm tea halfway through the scones. So the cozy was basically invented to keep the pot warm during these long, leisurely sessions.
A practical solution for a very British problem. And I'm guessing they weren't always these, quilted, flowery things we sometimes see.
Not at all. Initially, they were purely functional. Think simple fabric covers, maybe some wool batting inside, just, practical insulation.
Get the job done.
Get the job done. But the Victorians, they loved their details, didn't they? Everything had to be just so. So pretty quickly, this purely functional item started getting, fancier.
Ah, the aesthetic creep.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It evolved into a decorative piece. It became an important part of the whole tea table setup. People would have them made to match their teapots, their cups, sometimes even the room's decor. It was a little sign of, proper domestic management.
That's fascinating. Function meeting fashion right there on the tea table.
Yeah.
Okay, so that evolution leads us to today. You mentioned variety. This is where I'm really curious. It's not just one standard shape then.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah.
There's a surprising diversity, actually, and each style has its own pros and cons.
Okay, break it down for us. What are we talking about?
Well, first up, you've got your traditional tea cozy. This is probably the one most people picture, that classic dome shape.
Right, the little hat.
The little hat, often padded, made from fabric, sometimes knitted or crocheted from wool. They're great insulators because they trap the heat really well. That enclosed dome shape does the job.
Yeah.
And they have that, nostalgic charm.
Yeah, definitely.
The main downside, though, is that fixed shape. It can be a bit bulky, and it might not fit every single teapot out there, especially some of the more modern or unusual designs.
Okay, so maybe not a one-size-fits-all solution. What else is there? Something maybe a bit more adaptable.
Exactly. For that, you'd look at wraparound tea koozies. These are pretty clever. They're designed literally to wrap around the body of the teapot.
Ah, so they cover the sides.
Yeah, they cover the sides, but they leave the spout and the handle exposed, which is handy. They usually fasten with Velcro or maybe buttons.
That's convenient.
Super convenient. It means they can fit lots of different teapot sizes, and you can pour the tea easily without taking the whole cozy off.
That sounds really practical.
It is. The trade-off, potentially, is insulation. Because the top and bottom might be a bit open, they might not keep the tea hot for quite as long as a traditional, fully enclosed cozy.
Right, a little heat escape there. Okay, I've also seen ones that seem to have handles built right in.
Yes, that's another style. Tea koozies with handles. They have built-in loops for actual handles, making them really easy to lift off the pot.
Easier to manage, I suppose.
Definitely. And these often lean into the more decorative side. You see lots of fun designs, animals, flowers, that kind of thing. They add a bit of personality.
Bit of whimsy.
Bit of whimsy. The only thing to watch is that the handles themselves usually aren't insulated. So, maybe a tiny bit less effective overall, but great for ease of use and looks.
Okay, now, what if my absolute top priority is keeping that tea piping hot for as long as humanly possible?
Then you're probably looking for quilted tea koozies. These are serious about insulation. They're made with multiple layers of fabric, sandwiching some kind of padding or batting in between.
Like a little duvet for the teapot.
Exactly, like a little duvet. That layered structure traps air really effectively, creating a great thermal barrier. They work incredibly well, they're usually very durable, and they can look really quite sophisticated, especially with nice quilting patterns.
Sounds ideal. Any downsides?
Well, they can be a bit more expensive because of the construction. And depending on the fabric, they might need slightly more careful cleaning than a simple cotton one.
All right, okay. And one more category you hinted at, the fun ones.
Ah, yes, the novelty tea koozies. This is where things get really creative. Think animals, characters, little houses, seasonal themes like Christmas puddings, you name it.
So pure personality pieces.
Absolutely. They're fantastic for showing off your style. They make brilliant gifts, obviously. Some people even collect them.
I can see that.
The main thing here, as you might guess, is that sometimes the form, the fun design, might be prioritized a little over pure function. And some of the really wacky shapes, well, they might not fit every single teapot perfectly, but they certainly bring joy.
That's a fantastic overview of the styles. It really shows there's more to it than you'd think. But let's talk materials. How much does the actual fabric impact how well it works and, how it feels or looks? It's not just aesthetics, right?
Oh, absolutely not. The material is really crucial. It dictates the insulation level, how durable it is, even how easy it is to clean. Let's start with a classic, wool.
Okay.
Wool is a natural fiber, and its structure, the way the fibers are crimped, creates loads of tiny air pockets. That's what makes it such a good insulator.
Ah, trapping the air.
Exactly. So knitted or crocheted wool cozies are fantastic for warmth. They really do keep tea hot for a long time, and they have that lovely, cozy, traditional feel. The flip side is they can be a bit delicate. You usually need to hand wash them carefully, and they can shrink if you're not careful.
Right, so top marks for warmth, but maybe needs a bit more TLC. What's a more user-friendly option?
Well, cotton is very popular. It's soft, it's breathable, and you can get it in, endless patterns and prints.
Very versatile.
Very versatile. And often cotton cozies are quilted, which adds those insulating layers we talked about. They're generally pretty durable and easy to wash, often machine washable.
Okay, sounds like a good all-rounder.
It is. The main thing is it might not hold the heat quite as effectively as a really thick wool cozy, especially if it's just a single layer of cotton. And, lighter cottons can stain if you spill tea on them.
Fair point. Now, I've seen some really interesting ones made from felt. They look quite solid, almost sculptural sometimes.
Yes, felt is interesting. It's made from wool fibers that have been compressed together, not woven or knitted. This gives it a dense, smooth texture.
So good for structure.
Exactly. That's why it's often used for those novelty designs, because it holds its shape really well. It offers pretty good insulation, too, because it's still wool-based. It's effective, and designers can do fun things with it. The main drawback is durability. It might not stand up to wear and tear as well as woven fabric. And cleaning needs care. You definitely don't want to soak it or put it in the machine, or it can lose its shape completely. Spot cleaning is usually the way.
Good to know. Okay, what about synthetic options? If you want something really tough and easy to care for,
Then you're probably looking at polyester. These are usually padded or quilted synthetic fabrics. The big plus points are durability, they last well, and ease of cleaning. Truck them in the washing machine, no problem.
low maintenance.
Very low maintenance. And they come in tons of designs. The potential downside for some people is that polyester isn't as breathable as natural fibers like wool or cotton, and perhaps it might lack some of the traditional aesthetic appeal for certain tea enthusiasts, but for practicality, it's often a winner.
That really clarifies the material choices. Okay, so let's bring this back to the listener. They're thinking, right, I need a tea cozy.
Yes.
With all these styles and materials, how do you actually choose the right one? What should you look for?
Okay, this is key. Finding your perfect cozy. First things first, and I really can't stress this enough, measure your teapot.
Ah, the practical bit.
The absolutely crucial practical bit. You need a snug fit for the best insulation. So measure the height, the width, and importantly, the full circumference, including the spout and handle. You want the cozy to cover as much of the pot as possible. Think of it like getting clothes tailored. A good fit makes all the difference.
A bespoke suit for your brown Betty.
Exactly. Second, consider the material based on what you need most. Are you prioritizing maximum heat retention for long tea sessions? Go for wool or a thick quilted cotton. Is ease of cleaning and durability your main concern? Then maybe polyester or even felt, if you like the style, is a better bet.
Match the material to your lifestyle, basically.
Precisely. Then evaluate the design. This is the fun part. Choose something that reflects your personal style. Do you want something classic and elegant, fun and whimsical, something that matches your existing tea set? Let your personality shine through.
Because it is going to sit on your table after all.
Right. It's part of your tea rituals aesthetic. Also, check for additional features. Little things can make a difference. Do you like the idea of handles for easy lifting? Does it have adjustable closures like Velcro for a more custom fit? Some even come with matching placemats or coasters, which is a nice touch.
So those little extras.
Exactly. And finally, be realistic about ease of cleaning. If you know you won't hand wash something delicate, then maybe don't get that beautiful hand-knitted wool cozy. Prioritize machine washable options if convenience is key. Or if you fall in love with something special, just be prepared for the specific care it needs.
That's really practical advice. Measure, materials, style, features, cleaning. Got it. And once you have your perfect cozy, keeping it looking good and working well, that requires a bit of care too, right?
Absolutely. You want it to last.
Yeah.
Proper care ensures its longevity and keeps it, effective and charming. And as we've touched on, the method really depends on the material.
Right. So walk us through it. Wool shed.
Okay, for wool,
Yeah.
hand wash only. Use cool water and a very gentle detergent designed for wool. Don't rub or agitate it too much. Gently squeeze out the excess water. Absolutely no wringing or twisting. That's how it felt to lose its shape. Then lay it flat on a towel to dry, reshaping it gently back into its proper form.
Okay. Gentle handling required. Cotton.
Cotton is usually easier. Most cotton cozies can go in the washing machine on a gentle cycle with mild detergent. You can air dry them or tumble dry on a low heat setting. High heat might cause some shrinkage. If it's wrinkled, a quick iron on a low setting usually sorts it out.
Simple enough. And felt. You mentioned spot cleaning.
Yes, for felt, spot cleaning is definitely best. Use a damp cloth and just a tiny bit of mild detergent on any specific marks. Try to avoid getting the whole thing wet and never soak it or put it in the washer. It could distort really easily. Always let it air dry completely.
Got it. Avoid drowning the felt. And polyester.
Polyester is the tough one. Usually machine washable on a gentle cycle with mild detergent. Tumble dry on low or air dry. The main thing to avoid with polyester is bleach and fabric softeners. They can actually degrade the synthetic fibers over time.
Good tip. And are there any sort of go-to brands or makers people might look out for?
Oh, sure. There are lots of great ones. For example, Ulster Weavers are well known for their bright, often printed cotton designs. Blueberry Hill does lovely hand-knitted wool ones, very traditional. Now, designs often has more modern, quilted styles. Alice's Cottage does beautiful, often floral, coordinated sets. And if you want really fun, unique novelty designs, Tea Cozy Folk is a name to look for. Just a few examples of the variety out there.
Fantastic. So it really comes through from this deep dive, doesn't it? Tea cozies are far more than just a quaint accessory. They're this blend of essential practicality, keeping that brew warm, and this lovely aesthetic touch.
Definitely. And understanding their history, the different styles, what the materials do, how to choose one, how to care for it, it really empowers you, the listener, to find the perfect cozy that doesn't just do a job, but actually enhances your whole tea experience.
Yeah, it elevates the ritual. And maybe that's the final thought here. Beyond just the practical warmth, the right tea cozy can make your tea time feel a bit more deliberate, maybe even a bit more artful. It encourages you to slow down, to really savor that moment.
A small thing with a big impact.
Exactly. Which makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What other small, maybe overlooked item in your own daily routine holds that kind of unexpected depth, that history, that utility, that quiet charm, just waiting for you to explore it? Something to think about over your next perfectly warm cup of tea.